Well, we got lucky today, and Victoria has volunteered, I think I pressured her, into telling the story, her favorite story of the Bear Clan. So, Victoria, hit it.
Okay, so one day, now I'm not the best storyteller, but I'll try my hardest. So, one day, there was this really old man, and his, his clothes were all worn down, he had holes in his shoes, and he was kind of on his last leg, and he sort of stumbles into this village, and he's really hungry, and he sees this longhouse, and it has a turtle on it above the door. And so he goes up and he knocks on the door, and he asks the woman that answers if she could spare a little food because he's really hungry. And she says, no, we don't have any food to spare. Get out of here, keep going. And so he doesn't have any choice, but he keeps walking, and he sees another house, and it has a wolf above the door, and he knocks and he asks for some spare food, and again they turn him down. And so he keeps going, and he comes to a couple other houses, and they all say the same thing. So finally, he's kind of just cutting his losses and getting ready to move to the next village when he comes to the last house, and it has a bear above the door. And there's a woman coming out of the house, and before he even asks her for food, she sees him, and she sees that he's hungry, and she remembers the great law about respecting elders. And so before he says anything, she says, come inside, we're just getting ready to eat. And so they make him some food, and he gets a nice meal, and she looks at him and says, oh, you look tired, go ahead and take a nap real quick, over here, and stay as long as you need to. While he's sleeping, she makes him all new clothes, and she mends his old clothes. And so they invite him to stay indefinitely, and so he lives there for quite a long time and continues to grow old. And one day he gets really sick, and he's hot to the touch, and he's just not in good shape. So he calls the woman over to his bedside, and he tells her to go into the forest and pick a specific plant. And so she does, and she comes back with it, and he puts it in a pot and boils it and puts some other things in it and drinks it, and it cures him of his illness. And so he teaches her how to cure that specific sickness. And then over the next couple of years, he comes down with every kind of sickness that they know at that time. He gets them, one after the other. And every time he calls the lady over to his bedside, and he tells her to go get a different plant, bring it back, and he teaches her how to make medicine and cure all of these sicknesses. And so one day, she's out in the woods, and she comes back, and she sees in the doorway this great figure, and she knows that it's a spirit. So she drops to her knees, and she puts her head down, and it was the old man, but it was actually the great spirit. And he says to her, he wanted to come down and see that his people were remembering his teachings, and that because she did, and that she helped him when he was hungry and took him in, that from then on, her and all of her people, all of the Bear Clan, would have the knowledge of medicines and of healing, and they would be blessed with that.
Tory tells me she's not much of a storyteller, but I would really have to disagree. That was wonderful. Thank you very much.